Sarah, and Heket, that's Hagar, Sarah, and also Keturah. Now, I'm going to walk you through how Keturah also walked Abraham into learning about the law. All right? And so we're talking about the covenant of the promise. So we have the three covenants. I pray y'all get that. Covenant of the bow, covenant of circumcision, and the covenant of the promise. All right. So just wanted to go through the four things that my sister Hita Pernetti spoke about when we talked about Genesis 1 and when she spoke about Genesis 9. The four things, just to recap, honestly, that's the fruitfulness, the multiplying, replenishing, and subduing. This is important because as we are Tonus Charastians, as Nazarites, we are reclaiming these covenants. And as she said, we are remembering. This is our time for us because we fell off. Now, we can literally all say and admit that this is, even though it may seem as something new, we know this isn't something new. Because as we're coming into this doctrine, it feels so familiar. You understand? And as we're now awakening in this great and dreadful day, this is a time of awakening. As we're awakening, we're claiming. And this is important for us, my sisters and I, to give this message to you so that you may also remember and understand what these covenants are and how important they are for us. Because if we don't remember these covenants, woe be unto us, woe be unto our children, generations, but perpetually. All right? And so it's very important for us to bring this message to you. And we're not coming from the Jewishism, we're not coming from Europeanized or Hellenism perspective. We are coming from the Nazarite perspective. And as we know what Nazarite, as we spoke about last week, I think we spoke on the Hannah. When we spoke on Hannah and we talk about the Nazarite doctrine or the Nazarite law in number 6, right? We spoke about that. It's the key to separate yourself. And so we're now separating ourselves from the truth, from the lies. And we've been given so many lies. You know, as we even read, every time we pick up the Bible, that's why it's important for us as Tonus Charastians and Nazarites to go into the language, because language is key. Because language uncovers and unveils some of the lies and some of the truths, right? And so that's why we're using Farkon and Baina, right? Yes. And so, my brothers and sisters, let us now just move gracefully into Genesis 15. I just want to speak to you just to show you how Abraham came across this law, okay? And we're going to see that as many churches have not taught us, Genesis 15:1. Let's go to the heading. Abraham promised a son. After these things, the word of the Lord came unto Abram in a vision, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am thy shield and thy exceeding great reward. If we can go to shield, we can see that when you take on the law, it becomes a shield. It becomes a protection for you. This shield is Mogan. The shield, the buckler, defense, ruler, scales. When we hear about scales, what are we talking about here in the church? Ma'at. Because we are taking off corruptibility and putting on incorruptibility. And when we put ourselves on the scales, we have to weigh the heart and the feather. And so that's very important for us, okay? Let's continue on. Let's go to Genesis 26:5. We will see that how the law is important for Abraham. We talk about the law of Abraham, okay? Genesis 26:5. Because that Abraham obeyed my voice, so keyword, obeyed, and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes and my laws. Let's look at statutes. We have to understand what we have to upkeep. We see we have to upkeep the circumcision. We have to remember the covenant of the bull. Ha. Koka. Or hawk. Hawk. El hak. Statute. Ordinance. Custom. Rights. Here at the Holy Coptic Church, we have 9 sacred Coptic rites that we as Nazarites remember and must upkeep daily. The rites of baptism, the rite of the Eucharist, the rite of the binding of two flesh, the rite of affirmation, the rite of sacred societies, the rite of supplication, the rite of discipline, the rite of pilgrimage, and the rite of restitution.